Hey, I'm going to call this the Mormon Truth Video Channel announcement. As you're viewing this on the Dodger Game channel, no doubt, I want to thank everybody for your views and subscriptions and comments and all that sort of thing. Even some of those that are not necessarily from my point of view. However, at this point, I'm starting to upload things onto a channel that is branded basically for the content. In other words, Mormon Truth Videos is the name of the channel rather than Dodger Game, which is my user name. So let's take a quick look at what's going on there, because I'm starting to upload some of the best videos that I've already done, maybe do some upgrading or remaking on some of them, plus new videos that are entirely new over there. So I want to take a quick cruise over there and then kind of go through what I've done here, because I started this off New Year's Day this year, and anyway, I'll try to be brief. All right, here we got the three shills for the church. Three Mormons, supposedly backed by the More Good Foundation, which is basically not far removed from the Cobb. Basically, I mean, seems to be controlled by interest for the church leadership. And I did a video on these three of the girls, the new to the three Mormons crew as of this video, and they're pretty dishonest. They use some pretty good psychological techniques. They're funded, I believe, like I said, I think it was Thinker of Thoughts. He did some good YouTubes, and found out that they were backed by More Good Foundation, and I don't know if they've been practicing some NLP or what, but these guys are pretty good, pretty crafty, and they're teaching things that are not true. Anyway, the video I did on them and uploaded last night is actually pretty good. And I actually thought I was showing that right there, but okay, here's some recent uploads that I think were pretty darn good on the Dodger Game channel here, which maybe you've already seen. And this one on Seminary, I also upgraded and put over to the Mormon Truth channel. Anybody thinking about Seminary should watch it. Okay, so here we are, the Three Mormons job. There they are. This is on Mormon Truth Videos, and I think it's a good watch. And I fixed up the First Vision one, and then some of these, the plural marriage one is one I haven't done anything on polygamy related issues for a while. I think it's pretty good. Anyway, I'm getting better at some graphic stuff. It's not bad for a telephone, huh? It's not like I have the newest phone in town. So here's some of the stuff I've been doing recently on there, and some of it are redoing some of the better videos I've got on the Dodger Game channel. So yeah, the top one here is the Seminary one. Watch it. Even if you don't even know anybody that's going to seminary, which is hard to imagine, watch it. It's got a lot of stuff in it that's pretty good, I think. So on the Dodger Game channel, I've done some good ones very recently as well. So it's kind of difficult to upload them to both sides here at this point. But that's kind of the direction that I'm going. And if you want to stay, so that's Mormon Truth Video channel. Because I tried to, brand the idea, calling it Mormon Truth Video Library and that sort of a thing when I got started. And those are good search terms for my stuff. Sometimes adding Dodger Game to that will just get you nothing but my stuff on there. Gospel topic essays, 50 problems with the Mormon Church, that kind of stuff. So at this point, I'm going to take a quick look at what I've done in the Dodger Game channel so far, mostly, and take a peek at that. I suppose it would help if I'm actually clicking into the YouTube, which I've got ready to go. So I started this on New Year's Day, which means I got to go back down to the bottom, even though I already had it there. And I got like 160 videos on there now. If you know anything about YouTube, which I really didn't, other than watching a few YouTubes, the more you get viewed, and the more there are maybe things like comments or interaction or view time, everything, who knows what, the more you get exposed to others by YouTube. Your first couple of days after putting up a video tend to be, you get more exposure. So anyway, if we can take a look over at the other channel and see what I've got going on there regularly, because I'm uploading new stuff there, and I'm bringing stuff over and usually making some improvements on it. Some of these earlier ones have got sound quality issues, especially because squeaking my thumb on the glass or something. Tried to overcome that with various strategies so far. So New Year's Day started this. First video ever, and it's got 44 views. Wow. Anyway, so I started off looking at some, stuff from timeline issues in the scriptures, which basically show that, well, Jesus wasn't exactly telling the truth to the brother of Jared, among other things. Then I got into started doing some gospel topic essays off of LDS.org, where the brethren have been completely dishonest, very misleading, and I was just able to document that and various subject matter that was, the subject matter having to do with the essays. And basically they're kind of like I want to think of an animal in nature, a mother generally, maybe some kind of a bird that has to sit out in the wild, that doesn't fly too much or something, that when a predator's coming, they pull a decoy and they run off and get the predator to chase them, and then they chase them and they go back home. And that's kind of what these essays do. They say they're going to be straightforward and balanced, and actually what they do is give a bunch of information that's rather extraneous, pulls you away from the real issue that the church doesn't want you to think about, and in the process they tend to say some things that are either misleading or absolutely completely and totally dishonest. So then I started getting into the 50 Problems with the Mormon Church video that Mormon Informant did, and he had that pretty much based on the CES letter. And for people that don't know what that is, it was a letter to the director of the church educational system, asking a whole bunch of questions that seemed to have difficult answers at best. And a guy named Jeremy Rennell, there in the orange video, who wrote that letter and is very famous now, and he didn't get very satisfactory. He didn't get any answers from the CES director. But Fair Mormon has disputed things, and they're generally not too honest. So I went into these 50 problems with the Mormon Church, 50 issues that were listed on that 9.5-minute video or so, and got into some detail on these various things. So, it starts off with things having to do with, the Book of Mormon and possibilities as to where the content might have come from other than from a brown seer stone in a hat, and the similarities that there's to, book of whatever, A View of the Hebrews, or the Late War, or the Book of Napoleon, or the, these kind of things, and other issues having to do with locations resembling, locations near where Joseph Smith lived, resembling places that, or names in the Book of Mormon, all that kind of stuff. So we get, first vision, multiple versions, the Book of Abraham fraud, polygamy, and I got a bunch having to do with, what we call polygamy. Joseph Smith, in my opinion, never practiced polygamy. Had a lot of women that he was involved with, but concubinage was a lot closer to what happened, in my opinion. And I get into that with the spiritual wife system. There, as discussed by Joseph Jackson in Nauvoo, among the saints there, and as a confidant and a member of the Council of 50 with Joseph Smith. Here we got some stuff on the honesty of the brethren, documenting a lot of denying of doctrine and actually dishonest statements made by people like Gordon B. Hinckley, yeah, and others, Joseph Fielding Smith. It's more recent stuff than old stuff as far as that goes, but I used some, I think it was either Packham or Palmer stuff there. So I did a lot of them on this 50 Problems deal. And then I got, more stuff with the polygamy issue and coercive persuasion in the church. And there I've got a whole bunch on Joseph Jackson, and I redid all those, got pictures in them. And then we did Greg Trimble. And Greg Trimble, basically, he's a very successful LDS blogger, gregtrimble.com. And he put out this Book of Mormon challenge in one of his posts, and yeah. Sorry, Greg, I took it apart. Favorite line on there is his item number 10, and he says, the Book of Mormon has no contradictions in it. After all this time, no one could ever find one. So I found that kind of entertaining, and showed that Greg was not correct. So it's got some good documentation stuff on the first vision, on the non-historicity of anything going on in 1820 for Joseph Smith. Family never knew about it. And taking a look at, several of the 9 versions and the discrepancies in the way LDS.org just tries to on the Gospel Topics essay, tries to find some commonality and say Joseph was just emphasizing different things, which is not honest at all. There are massive contradictions. Can't figure out how old he was or who was there or why he was there or what happened, or I mean, it's ridiculous. And of course, you know, you see some good seer stone stuff, you know, Joseph the magician. I mean, early Mormon magic. Lots of that, because they didn't teach it in Sunday school. I didn't teach it in Sunday school because I didn't know about it. I didn't know he was a scryer, a seer. Yeah, you know, the word seer I associated with the religion, not with magic. But apparently he was a seer long before he was a seer for the church. And crystal balls and seer stones are pretty close cousins. All right. So, yeah, that's the redoing all the stuff going on in Nauvoo, secret combination in Nauvoo, basically the Downites and the spiritual wife system was basically you know, it's horrendous. A lot of the women were involved in secretive activities besides just the escapades of Joseph Smith and his inner circle there. Got in some Mormon apologetics, dealing with you know, people from BYU or associate of one of the professors or something. They're defending their dishonesty at any rate. LDS doctrine, LDS scripture, comparing things in the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, Pearl of Great Price. Massive contradiction. Seeing how consistent God is, God, the God of the Hebrews, and how unchanging He is, or isn't. And then all these various issues. We've got people doing, you know, Book of Mormon evidence and you know, what Mormons believe about this, that, and the other, the Godhead, the changing name of the church, the, you know, all sorts of issues. And see what the people trying to be church apologists have to say, and then see what the facts say. Do some fact checking on there. Here we got a lot on the DNA issues. The church changed their stance and said, well, I guess the Lamanites weren't really the primary ancestors of the American Indians. Took that out of the Book of Mormon in 2006. But basically, they hint that the anthropologists were correct, because since the DNA doesn't seem to exist, or maybe in tiny trace amounts here and there with some Cherokees, they have to say they disappeared into a huge existing population. Unfortunately, that population would have come across just after an ice age, long before Adam left his garden, and weren't affected by Noah's mythical flood. So Mormonism is destroyed by the DNA issue, no matter what the church's stance is. And here we get to the present stuff that I just mentioned, unveiling the mystery of secret Mormon history and the Church of New Name, LDS. Church is on its third name, and third time's been the charm, right? Anyway, so there we are till today. And then if I was to click over into the Mormon Truth channel, that would be just dandy. Great. Dodger game. Switching over. Mormon Truth Videos. Nice stuff. And here we go, the three Mormons. The shills of the brethren, supported apparently, or at least allegedly, by the More Good Foundation, which is, I think, the More Fraud Foundation. Plural marriage among the saints, myths, morals, and misogyny among the Latter-day Saints. You should watch it. The new redo on the first vision. Okay, well, that's the rundown. Don't know if you've stayed with it that long, but it'll help to get views over there, so it'll drive more views. More views we get, more exposure YouTube puts out there, and I want to put the cream of the crop over here. Maybe I'll start putting the commentary stuff, like I did 2 videos with trying to do video commenting. Maybe I'll throw them on the Dodger game at this point. Don't know, but we're going to have the best of the best over here. And there's still a lot of real good stuff on the Dodger Game channel. So, Dodger Game on the Mormon Truth Video channel. Wishing you a good day. Subscribe, comments, likes, all appreciated. Thank you.